Yes, it's the Chipmunks. Oh, no.
How can I help you?
We're online.
All systems go.
Oh, man.
You are listening to the golden microphones of the IMC radio.
Oh, they're
News,
back.
opinions, and your calls.
The Chipmunks are taking over.
What kind of effect is that going to have?
Oh, what kind of effect is that? How important are the Chipmunks to you? Okay, well, happy, joy to the world. We are back. Believe it or not, it is 2017, the last few days of 2017. And I am sitting here in the golden microphone at IMC Radio, and we are here on Plain Talk with the venerable, and I do mean venerable, Alvin and the Chipmunks. No, we've got Radek Vizikowski here and Jon Roberts. Hey, boys. Can you speak up? Oh, no. Hi, guys. Are you there?
Yeah, we're here, yeah.
Oh, good. We have all sorts of things. We have all sorts of technical difficulties there. Hey, Radek, are you there?
I'm absolutely here from sunny and cold Albany, New York.
Albany, you've got like 12 feet of snow, didn't you?
Kind of, yes. A little bit, and a little temperature on the negative side, but yeah, it's winter, so it's cold. I'm not complaining.
What's the density altitude out by you today?
Oh, it's something in negative numbers, so...
Yeah, right? I mean...
It's definitely good day to fly potentially if you can get your oil out of this jello stage.
That's right.
To regular
That's
liquid
right.
stage. But other than that,
Wonderful.
it's beautiful.
And Jon Roberts, we have the alternate venerable Jon Roberts with us today. Hey, Johnny boy, how you doing?
Pretty good down here in Delray Beach. It's been beautiful weather, of course, Florida, and I'm getting a little involved with a VMC club in a nice little GA airport down here. We'll talk about that.
Oh, wonderful. Well, it's awfully nice to be back with the team, and I do mean team. Yeah, it's been a while. We got a lot of things. A lot of things going on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to tell you first and foremost, I want to apologize for the lack of productivity. There has been a lot going on. First, we're going to have Radek's going to give us an update on why he has so many frequent flyer miles. He's going to be giving them away as gifts. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, send in your the little stubs to win.
Take it easy, Howard. Take it easy.
To win the free trip to Poland via Radek Vizikowski. Yeah, he's been awfully busy. For those of you that get the emails from Radek, you may have received the new email thingy that you send out. Right, Rad?
Yeah, it's called, it does have a name, and it's called IMC Club Advisor. But what I want to say here, that I'm extremely excited. I'm so excited that...
How excited are you?
Oh, God, I'm so excited. It's really difficult to express. We are literally 3 clubs away from 200 locations.
Holy shitballs.
So I'm
really?
trying to convince somebody in the next few days to sign up and be that 200 so we can start, New Year with 200 clubs. But that
you can't
is
see
how
this.
quickly we are growing.
He's poking me again, trying to get a chapter going here where I am. And, oh, please, John, it kills me. It kills me. It's Oh, please. We'll talk about that in a minute.
What is happening, Howie? We just had... our new opening at, where was it, John?
Norwood.
Where is your...
Yeah, North Palm
club?
Beach.
Palm
Palm Beach Airport. Yeah. It's called North Palm Beach Regional Airport, is it?
You forgot where your VMC
Yeah,
club
no.
is?
I know it as Lantana. I think of it as Lantana because it's on Lantana Ave. But it's a great little GA airport. There's we had our first meeting there, and it's... there are, I think, 4 flight schools there.
Palm Beach County?
It's Palm Beach County, North Palm Beach County Airport.
It's not Lantana?
Actually, Lake Worth, technically Lake Worth, if you look it up. It's Lima, November, Alpha.
Yeah.
Is the call sign, and is the airport identifier. But what's interesting is it's been getting a lot of press because it is in the sweet spot every time the president comes into Mar-a-Lago.
Oh crap!
They're completely shut down. So it's not like I know. It's not like up north when we knew Obama weeks in the summer, as you know how, but you knew it was just 2 weeks.
As I knew, the height of the summer. Yeah, shit, yeah. Oh, those poor
he does
bastards.
come down quite a bit. So it's an interesting airport. So I thought it would be fun to get a club going there because just to try to keep the airport alive.
John found room there which can hold 30. I think we figure out 30 people. And we made an announcement, and within 3 days, we had 36 people signed up.
Oh my God!
For the meeting.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah, it was a good meeting. And I think it will work. I think it will take off.
What did you do? Offer pizza?
Yeah, we offer free pizza and women after 7:00. Yeah.
Actually, how just the opposite, because we figure out, okay, we have only 30 chairs there, and actually it was fewer than that, and we have 36 people coming in, so we gave instructions were so confusing, so we're hoping that half of the people won't be able to find it,
That's
and
right.
we'll be okay.
We had to give out progressive taxi instructions for them to get in there. But what we decided we would do is we would couple a VMC club with a happy hour, and that really made for a huge turnout.
Oh, that's a great idea. Hey, listen, before we go any further, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 55 of IMC Radio. No kidding, plain talk. Here, Howie Marlin, a.k.a. Max Gross, along with Radek Viskowski and John Roberts. We're brought to you by M0A. Jason Schappertz wants to remind you a good pilot is always learning. So if you haven't already, please go to m0a.com. And also to Peter and Ashley at Free Flight Systems, the makers of, among other things, the Ranger ADSB, their WAS GPS, and Jet Call decoders. I'm going to say that I'm really, truly grateful for those guys for their support. And we've got some interesting changes. Let's share with our listeners out there what our plans are. Rad, why don't you tell them what to expect as far as productivity?
Productivity. First of all, the first change is going to be that my name is Radek, and that's the way I'm going to go forward with.
Radek.
He gives me the finger every time I say Rad. He gives me the finger in Skype. I'm sorry.
And second of all, we are going to be producing our show every 2 weeks.
We promise. That is
Yeah.
That'll
so
be with John and
10
Radek.
o'clock Eastern time. 10 o'clock Monday morning. You are going to every other week. You are going to hear our voices on this podcast.
Roger that. Roger. Radek.
No, Radek. Let's stay with.
And we're expecting for how long? How long are the shows?
Shows are going to be 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Just as we are doing it today.
Good luck with that.
And, it's going to be nice, short, sweet, and we are going to have a lot of fun every single time.
Yeah, you're going to have a lot of fun. Me, I'm going to be tortured trying to clam.
Of course. Yeah, that's the whole idea.
Trying to cram an hour's worth of conversation in half an hour. And, okay, well, I appreciate that. And we should cover about 3 subjects or something like that. And, there'll be weekly updates. I also can expect to have some call-ins. We have a number of people that want to participate in the show. So, guys, we should be able to get some of our guests to call in on Skype-ish. And if the good Lord willing and the creek don't rise and the software upgrades don't crash everything, we'll be moving right along. Which brings us to our first subject. You actually broached the subject already. We are just a couple away from 200 IMC clubs. A tip of the hat there, Mr. Radek. How fantastic a job. I just want to say that from the early days up in Norwood, did you think that you would ever see it like this?
I mean, initially, of course, I didn't. And, as I always say, it's not me. I mean, I just had an initial idea. But from that point on, it's everybody involved and, all the program coordinators, IMC club leaders at the beginning and, all the staff and volunteers and everybody who is involved in it. That's all about pilots, not really me. So, the idea is definitely growing, and I'm very happy to see it going that way. And as I always say, that years ago, my wildest dreams were, 3-4 chapters around Norwood, Massachusetts.
Well, you done
Yeah,
good.
I remember we thought that was great. We were happy you just got out of the airport.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
Well,
Yeah,
I can tell you, being down at Sun and Fun and seeing the reception that you had down there, it's a joy to be a part of this. And we're gonna the post on the IMC website. We're gonna get that going again, folks. I really do want your ideas. So whatever floats your boat. Well, we expect to be a little bit untraditional. So if there's something that pisses you off or somebody that pissed you off and you want to stay anonymous and it has something to do with aviation and something legitimately bothersome, or a great idea that you saw or something which worked really well, I'm going to tell you sometimes, speaking up really does help. I'm here on Martha's Vineyard. There was a guy with an Icon that was flying, and I'm not kidding, 100 feet over the beach and scaring the living daylights out of people. And it took,
Really?
yeah, it took for me to call. I had to call Icon and ask them to get the guy to stand down because he was not only giving all of us a bad name, but he was literally scaring people. And so, there's good stuff going on, and there's some weird stuff which we should be paying attention to. So.
And speaking of weird stuff, tell us about your flight training. I understand you're almost instrument-rated commercial CFI, right?
I think I am probably taking the longest period of time to get these rating certificates. I got my tail dragger. I got 2 hours in a damn float plane, and if I could have stuck around for another hour, I could have gotten my wet ticket. But no, I got pulled out for some damn IMC club thing. That really burned me. But I'm back at it. I got my written taken care of 3 years ago. I did really well with an 89, and I did the boot.
Expired.
I did the boot camp down there, which was a real anyway. Kind of a waste of time. We just watched the King DVD for 2 days and then took the test. But it's only good for 2 years.
Right.
So I got to take it again. And however, this time, since I want to do some charter sightseeing and help the guys out over at Antique Aviators in giving tours in the Wackos, I want to get my commercial. So I'm studying both at the same time. And it's not really a bad idea. There's a lot of overlap, as you can imagine. But I am hard at it. I'm again, doing my, 4, 5, 6 hours, pretty much every day.
That's great.
I mean, it is all overlap. I mean, I could never understand, commercial written and private written. It's all the same. And when you go to CFI written, I mean, what else can be there? I mean, what could be different? I mean, lift is still lift, and
there's so many
VOR
things
is
that
still
overlap. Of
VOR.
course.
It's,
Yeah, but understanding the different kind of feeds for the chicken and the pigs and the horses and the different times to reap the crops and things like that. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, yeah, you're right.
No, that was a different example.
No, it is all overlap, and the thing is that I'm a little boy, I don't know. Am I blessed or cursed? I got this Cherokee, and I got it at a good price. And after the man sunk, and I'm not kidding, $125,000 worth of fixes into the damn thing. So I'm thinking, I'm not kidding. Boy, did he get ripped off horribly. Wow. But the point is, this old 64 Cherokee got all put, they polished up that ball of crap. And it had a constant speed prop and Horton stall kit and great, an old antique GPS slaved to a altitude holding autopilot, which worked. I mean, all sorts of great stuff. Really, no, it was great stuff. But little did I know that 3 months after buying the plane, my cam would go, and I had to get a new engine.
Oh,
I had 1,300 hours on that thing. I figured I got a few years, but no.
Yeah.
Then I'd go.
Yeah.
Had to go to an ex-Matatuck guy, so I got a new engine. Okay. While it is there, I decided I'm going to take the interior apart, redo the interior. Got this great spray stain, and redid everything in two kinds of Porsche-colored beiges, and redid the seats and the rugs and the seat, all of it. Beautiful. Millions of pieces all over the hangar. And the mother calls me, the hangar owner calls and goes, "Hey, Howie, I'm selling the hangar. You got to get your plane out of there by Friday."
nice.
My plane is in 1,000 pieces spread all over the hangar. It ain't going anywhere. So he goes, but I need cash back. He goes, pay me cash and you buy it for half price. And that's what I did. I went to the bank again, and I got half price on the hangar. Yeah, good. But, guys, I spent the same amount for the engine and the hangar as I did for the flipping airplane.
Now, so you could say, Kev,
Oh, my God.
it would have been cheaper if you never had the airplane and just paid for the hours to do this. Seriously.
Of course. No, but there's no rental here. There's no.
Well, that's just it. I mean,
there's no plane to rent.
Wouldn't it be easier not to buy a new engine and convert it to a glider?
Yeah. Damn.
And get some glider time.
But
but all kidding aside, I would think for most people, we should know this. Having your own plane can be a huge advantage to keep the cost down for training for the later licenses.
It could be.
It was supposed to be. I got it at a great price. It was IFR ready, twin VORs. ADF. I mean,
twin VORs.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it was an IMC capable aircraft, and that was the deal. That's why I did it. It was old steam technology, but hell, I can negotiate two VORs and make that work. But so I found myself immediately over my head, and then, long story short, I finally have a partner. Possibly two. I certainly have one. And so that will... Oh, great. For everybody that's listening, Skype is now trying to reconnect me. Oh, no. So, anyway, for the rest of you guys, while I'm trying to reconnect with Radek and John, there I was sitting with twice as much debt as I intended. And let me tell you that it was just an impossible task. So the reality is that I was able to make it work, but only by the grace of my buddy Joe Harper. A nod to Joe. Many of you will remember the podcast I did about Look Ma, No Gear, when Joe and I were flying. John, Radek, you both back?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Houston.
Oh, okay.
Cutting out a little bit.
Well, you don't need to see me. But anyway, so, yep.
We don't want to see you.
Trust me, that's true. So that very airplane that came down without the gear, got the gear fixed. It's all done. No prop strike. Happened to get a brand new engine with the constant speed, new hub, new prop, everything. I mean, excuse me, it was a new hub and a new prop before landing without the gear. There was no strike. There was no accident. It was an incident. It was all fixed and groovy, and it's up and running, and it's all good. And now I'm finishing my written, and we got an instructor coming up from Florida who started a charter business with his twin Baron, and hopefully I'll be getting that taken care of. I have an opportunity to work on Nantucket, and if I work on Nantucket, I can commute. And
nice.
That would work out.
So
real good.
what's your biggest challenge in your instrument training?
Money.
Yeah.
Money, okay, but
really.
The flying part.
Oh, the biggest challenge is the flying part. Getting up in the schnookums with an instructor. I don't have instructors here. There is.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to teach yourself. Yeah.
There is one.
Yeah.
There is one fella he's the greatest guy. I got my private through him. but he has another business that he has to run. He also does a charter, and he's just not around. So that ain't working. And using somebody from off island, you got to pay. You got to pay for them coming and going.
But wouldn't it be smart for you like to fly to Norwood or Mansfield or Bedford, New Bedford, and then just go take your plane to the teacher? Would that work?
It would work, but John, that also means the time getting
More
out
cost.
there and the time coming back with them. So it's triples the amount of time in the plane and the fuel. And
what happens if it's IFR? I can't go to my lesson.
I want to jump. I want to jump the subject here very quickly because I know we're almost exhausting our time here on this segment. But
this is not going to be a half an hour segment.
I definitely believe that. But I was just looking at that article in IMC Advisor about the VMC club at Palm Beach County Airport.
Yeah, Palm Beach, right.
And I shared that article on Facebook. And on Facebook, the way it's shared, and absolutely I have no idea where it's coming from, it says pilots from around Palm Beach County Park Airport in Lake Worth, Florida, gathered at Santa Monica Airport on Monday.
Whoa.
Did they? Wow.
So, John, what were you doing there? You didn't tell me anything.
What? No.
You were in Santa Monica? Wow.
No, I wasn't.
But when you click on it and you get to the article and it says, correctly that gathered at Shelter Aviation meeting room on Monday, and also when you look at the newsletter itself, it's correct. So I have no idea.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at my piece on my Facebook when I sent, and it's just as you wrote it. Just as you wrote it.
You wrote it.
Hey, by the way, talking about Santa Monica Airport, remember we had a couple of shows on that. They've been trying to close that forever, right?
Shorten it.
Yeah, they are systematically killing that airport. I think it's on a lost position, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
So
One of the
you're
oldest,
saying if that's
airports.
on your bucket list, you better go kick it.
Yeah, if you've never been, yeah.
Yeah, actually, I will be in California on February 6th, the week of February 5. I will be there, and I will definitely stop by Santa Monica Airport to say
You going to land
goodbye.
on the taxiway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was actually John Wayne Airport that he did that. Yeah.
Can you imagine? God, how
Yeah.
embarrassing.
That's a weird takeoff there, because if you take off commercially there, they tell you before you take off that, look, we're going to take off real steep, and then I'm going to pull the power back, I'm going to put the nose down. Don't worry, it's normal. And it is very noticeable. I'm sure, Radek, you've flown out of John Wayne. And they just take off like a rocket, and they put the nose down, pull the power back, and it's like, whoa. It's like you feel like you're gliding for a minute until they get out to,
Why is that, John? Why?
Oh, serious noise abatement. Yeah. That airport just keeps getting... That's an airport that's getting bigger and bigger. They didn't think it would get so big, and now it's become a vital airport down in Southern California. I lived right near there for a while.
I'll tell you, I wish people would pay attention to that here. Coming off of 6, which goes right over Oak Bluffs and Vineyard Haven, we got some cowboys who like to floor it at like a 3%, 3-degree angle takeoff. And it just blows the ears out of everybody. Anyway, so wait a minute. Let's talk about another subject. Wait a minute. Before we go any further, I want to do a little segue here. So, folks, we're going to take a little break. We'll be right back in just a moment.
Welcome to Plane Talk on WIMC Radio. The views and opinions expressed on Plane Talk are of the host, its guests, and callers. They do not necessarily reflect the views of the IMC Club or IMC Club International.
Okay. We are back. Thank you very much.
Oh,
and
right.
wait a minute. I just want to give a shout out again to Jason Shepard. I owe Jason a huge apology. We did a couple of podcasts without mentioning him. And first of all, he's a great guy, fun guy. He went to Bridgewater University for the flight school up here in Massachusetts, so he's kind of a local yokel. And, so I forgot to mention, I was neglectful of mentioning M0A. So I want to tell you I'm using the M0A software for my ratings. So I'll let you all know how that things work out with there. And
so
of course,
if you fail miserably, then that's really not good. Maybe you shouldn't mention it, Jason. Just wait till.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, hold on. Well, I'm apologizing in advance. How's that? And to Peter over at Free Flight, thank you very much. For those of you that don't know, Free Flight makes this really great ADSB solution called the Ranger. So it uses the existing cables. And make a long story short, that's things. The deadline's coming on. It's coming at us. I know we got some interesting stuff. Oh, you know what I made? I made a Stratux.
The who?
The Stratus, right? The Stratus ADSB Stratux, Stratux, which is a open source version of a kit, and it's really not too complicated. It's a Raspberry Pi, little mini computer, and a little tiny micro SIM card that you download the software onto. You load that into the computer. You plug in the 980, 1029 radios with a little GPS, and I printed out a box, with a printer, a plastic printer, and my son did it, and he actually did a couple of them, and so I used that for my ADSB-in. Dead silence.
You got me lost after the Raspberry Pi, which I still understood, but after that I had absolutely.
Oh, the heck
no
with that!
idea
We'll
what
talk
we're
about that
talking
later. That's old technology. There's actually new stuff coming out, which we'll talk about.
Raspberry Pi. I had one for dessert just yesterday.
Hey, screw that! Hey, how about clearance deliveries on a smartphone?
There
Boom,
we go.
baby.
Now we're talking about something concrete. So,
God damn it! Why didn't they start doing this 10 years ago? Seriously.
are you really? I don't know. I have mixed feelings about this myself.
You mean accurate,
you're
and
going
clear?
to trust it's the beginning of trusting what's normally been verbal communication between ATC and pilots since the day
and on the busy days
to now to texting
at my airport. When I got JetBlue coming in, I got all these charters coming in, and these guys, you got to read it back. And there's like 6 of us waiting to take off and waiting for this guy to read back.
But at least there is acknowledgement that you understand. So when there is something, and there are very similar names out there of intersections, navates, and a lot of other things. So
boom,
exactly. I still think that verbal communication. It's I don't know. I'm kind of old-fashioned guy, so. Tell me what do you like about this?
Well, the new monoplanes with one wing, it's much more stable. You don't need 3 wings anymore, and they can use now this metal called aluminum on the wings, so you don't need fabric. Oh no, we're talking about why is it better? It's better because it's accurate. It's put out to you accurately. You can copy it and paste it into your planner. If the screw up is going to be made, it's going to be made from the author, and the authors are the schnizzle. They're not going to make that mistake. You see.
Okay, still in the first version, you get clearance as a text. The idea is that you download this app, you file your flight plan. You get clearance that comes back to you in the form of text, and then you call ATC and you still read back that clearance verbally.
You do?
Yes. That's the first phase. Eventually they want to digitize everything, but that's the first phase. The company is called what is it? Mitra Corporation, and they started actually that project in 2014. And they just came out with a prototype version of it. But at this point, you still can log into a number of different services and you can literally get your clearance in advance. Write it down, and then you call ATC. They will read it to you, just verify that it is what you have expected, and you still read back to them. So what's the difference?
Well, right now there's no difference. It's the best of both worlds. So what's your argument?
To me, it's still one more system you've added to the chain of communication that could, how about your phone could do, what do they call the emojis, where a phone hears something and interprets or spells something wrong, or phones can do weird things.
It will start correcting things.
Autocorrect. Fucking autocorrect.
Autocorrect, you're screwed because it comes up with these, these crazy sounding intersections, like Mo Larry Curly could be, mow your lace.
Yes. Right. No, that's not going to be it. No. You're not going to be dictating into it, but you're getting this text and you're copying and pasting it. It's just like, what you could do is you gone are the days of writing out the flight plan by hand.
Right.
Right. Identifier to identifier.
I get what it's eliminating, and you could. Yeah, I get what it's eliminating.
Yeah, but okay. Let me give you an example. I just opened up. I was getting some gas at Exxon Mobil station, and there was a sign says you can save 6 cents a gallon if you apply for this smart credit card. So why not?
You know what's so smart about it? 24%.
So I got this card, came in the mail, and with a letter saying, okay, here is your PIN, and if you want to make your own PIN, then call this number and set it up. So I call this number, I follow all the procedures, and at the end says, okay, enter this number in the right bottom corner of your card. So I'm entering it, and it says, sorry, your entry was not understood. I'm punching numbers on the phone.
Right, yeah.
So, okay, I try again, and it says, sorry, your entry was not understood. So I called the company. I went through layers and layers and hours on hold. And I still wasn't able to resolve it. And here is my beef. Let's say something comes in, and there in the text you have an intersection that does not exist.
Fly past it anyway.
And you cannot...
Just go to the next one.
Yeah. There's always one coming up.
So now who are you going to call? If everything is automated, you're going to be there. It's most likely going to be the 800 number that if you have questions to resolve, you are going to be sitting on hold, and it will be telling you that you are number one in queue, and your wait time is less than 1 minute, and you look at your watch, it's been already 15 minutes.
God, pray it ain't Blue Cross Blue Shield in Massachusetts, because you'll be online for an hour.
Yeah, really.
Okay, Rad,
So that is my concern. So, even when we talk here, and, I look at John's face, and, I can judge by his face whether, he likes what I'm talking about or not. I cannot see your face, of course, so I don't know what you think. But, if we eliminate this human factor, I think we may think that it makes things easy, but actually it's not. And look at day-to-day real life and, things that you have to resolve. Your phone company,
Every party needs
your
a pooper.
power
That's
company.
why we invited you. Party pooper. Okay, bust the balloon. Okay, we have new technology. You don't want it. Okay, screw the wireless headset. Okay, you can hand prop everything. Go ahead. Help yourself.
Okay, I take wireless headset here.
I've seen you try to hand prop a turboprop. Son, I'm telling you, it's funny as hell.
How many times I have to reconnect my Bluetooth? I have this important conversation with somebody. I have my Bluetooth plugged in my ear, and suddenly I'm discovering that I'm talking to nobody.
No,
I'm trying to figure out
to our
what's going
audience
on,
out there,
and then Bluetooth just disconnected. So
you have to
that
understand,
is
when
my
we
fear.
first started tonight, we had Jon and Radek on the phone, and John's talking to me, and Radek's trying to talk. We can't hear him. He can hear us, but he was just...
Exactly, that's my point.
Yeah.
That was funny. You were trying, but he had to reboot, right? That's what
Yeah.
fixed it.
So is this new technology that we are keep developing more and more? Isn't that simply our laziness?
That's why I keep Steam, because there's going to be a little magnetic microburst, and it's going to wipe out everybody's iPads and all the flat screens, and I'm going to be flying around with my VORs, baby.
You'll be laughing and having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, good point. Technology isn't always our friend, and Lord knows, how I hate the internet. Oh, Jesus God, how I hate the internet. There's nothing more that I hate more than the internet than drones. But we'll get back to that in a second. We're going to take another little break here. Word from our sponsors. So you guys, little sterile cockpit for a minute while we get back on to... we'll be back in a second, folks.
See, this takes so much energy, guys. All right. JetBlue 1012, Lieutenant November, join Alpha, contact ground on 49, good afternoon.
Yeah, I'm supposed to mute my mic with it. Hey, yeah, just another shout out to M0A and Free Flight Systems. Thank you all very much. We are back. And, that's that vodka? John, holy crap. Did you see how much vodka that guy's put down?
Yeah, it's vodka. Yeah.
Holy
great
crap, he
booze.
gargles with that stuff.
What did you think I have in this I Love My Grandma cup?
Yeah. Yeah.
Guys, there's cool. There's certain degrees of cool. And I Love My Grandma is not one of them. It's just... Okay. Welcome back to IMC Radio Plain Talk here with Radek Visikowski, John King Roberts, and
you got my name correctly. I love it.
Rad, I love you. Sorry, Radek, I love. There you go. And it only took me like 5 years. I'm not kidding. I have a TV producer, Bruce Lundeen. Shout out to my buddy Bruce. Bruce does some fantastic work, and he's really award-winning producer, and he's just got himself a big-ass drone. And,
Hello, Bruce.
And he's been...
Hello, Bruce.
Yeah, and he's been getting his certifications, his pilot license, and all the stuff he needs to do to get to fly this drone thingy. But, Radek, you pointed out that there was this little glitch in the regulations that allow us to hit drones in airport vicinity in the Class D?
Actually, it's not a glitch. It's something that they are proposing in this new advisory circular, which confuses me altogether because just recently they went back to drone registrations. So everybody has to be registered. But they say that drones, actually, it's not a regulation yet. It's proposed, but I basically have a suspicion that it is going to get through because there are not really that many comments there. That with not Class D, but at a non-towered airport,
Right, non-towered.
it's simply open game. So anybody can fly a drone without any restrictions or permission.
That's crazy.
Shoot me now.
That's like you don't have enough. You're dealing with.
I'm flying out of Katama. The Katama traffic. There's the pattern for the wackos is 400. For the rest of us, it's up there. It's I think 900. But the point is, the wackos are way down. They're down there, and you get these guys. They'll fly out of line of sight. These morons will fly them out of line of sight. And I can see these things. Some of them getting big and heavy. Even the little tiny ones. I don't want one of those things hitting me. Damn.
But in the same regulation, if you read it, and you can subscribe to our IMC advisor
How do you
on
do
the
that?
EAA.org website, just go to EAA.org, and on the top menu find something that says news there, and simply subscribe to a newsletter. It's called IMC Club Advisor. But in the same regulation, it says that you are allowed as an airplane to alter your course in case you do see one of those drones. Don't you love it?
You're allowed. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's nice. I'm glad they said that.
I mean, untowered fields are challenging enough because most pilots don't really. In my very limited experience, I've just run into some pretty. They don't report their position correctly. They don't report their position at all. So you add to the mix. You add to the mix. I mean, even a tiny drone could just. Let's say let's say it could just block or knock off your pitot tube or something silly like that. It may not take a plane down, break your window, but could do something really.
If a goddamn drone hits my airplane,
scary.
It's going to be money. It's going to be money.
I can't believe they would even consider that.
I almost had collision once with RC, with radio-controlled airplane. And let me tell you, that is so confusing because suddenly we look up.
Oh, my God. You think you see a real plane.
I see another airplane going head-on.
Oh, my
God. Because of its size, you feel it's much,
farther away.
It's a different distance than
Right. Oh, that's a riot.
And
oh my God!
Suddenly they go zoom by you, and it's a scary business. It's something,
yeah.
And that happened actually years ago. It was, I think, in 2005 or 2006, and I actually called FAA on it. And you know what they said?
What?
What do you want us to do about it?
Right. No. Yeah, that's right. That's like what the police say. Someone stole your car. Well, sorry. We'll try. We'll see.
Well, I'm getting me a big ass net, and I'm gonna trawl. You see people pulling banners? I'm gonna be pulling a net. Trawling for drones.
So
yeah, can you imagine?
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Just imagine, you're low and slow. You're turning on base, turning on final, and all of a sudden, whoa! I mean, that's all it would take.
Come
to
on.
Throw you.
You guys have both flown into the vineyard, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know, we got Canadian geese live here year-round. There's hundreds of thousands of them, millions, trillions of them. The goddamn footballs are 10 pounds apiece. And they
got more brains than most drone pilots, I know.
You know, they do. They do. You know, they're going down. They're going.
Drones are great, but keep away from piloted aircraft. I mean, come on. At least give the airports the approaches. I mean, that's unbelievable. That's incredible.
FAA's hope is that since drone pilots do not need support of an airport, so they don't need infrastructure, therefore they are not going to be doing it. And my thinking is just the opposite, because drone pilots are pilots who want to be related to aviation, but potentially they didn't get their pilot's license, because otherwise they wouldn't be flying drones, they would be flying airplanes. So that is even more reason for them to be in the vicinity of an airport. And if somebody is going to say, yeah, you can do it, they are going to do it.
I'd like to see some kind of, I agree. They'll do it unless they're, I'll tell you what, I'd love to see some kind of software, some kind of transponder where it's put into every GA airplane, and when a drone gets within maybe a quarter mile, it just drone just disables drone. Drone falls out of the sky.
John, that's a brilliant idea. That's a brilliant idea.
Lasers coming out.
You can make millions.
No, don't shoot it down.
Buy now and get free. Free shipping.
It'll just drop like a rock, and but.
And then it's going to kill somebody on the ground, and it's going to be lost.
And they'll sue you, and they'll take your piano away, and that'll be the end of it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Oh, so much for that. Well, that brings us it's about to the end of our allotted time. We don't have an allotted time. That was a self-imposed allotted time.
But you can talk about. I mean, drone is a huge part.
We can drone on. I know.
Huge.
Boom, boom.
And see, unfortunately, the
they didn't get that
period to comment on that suggested or what to call it, not suggested but proposed advisory circular already have expired. So whatever it is, if they were any negative comments, then they have to kind of work on. Because that way it works. So there is hope that it's not going to go through, but if it would, I'm afraid, actually. I'm not going to be flying to an untowered airport anymore.
Really? I mean, geez, that's unbelievable.
That's not going to keep us from flying into untowered airports. But
like Howie, like you say, I mean, just geese, birds birds are nature's flying drones, so to speak, and they have more right to be up there than we do. But at least they have the smarts to get out of the way when it comes to sound, or they feel the air moving because of pressure.
They do. They do. We have ospreys, and I've encountered ospreys. I've been up in. We have a grove on campus, and I've been up in the grove, and we've toyed around because we're in the same thermal, and we're all flying around the same thermal, going up together.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. We're flying with the ospreys, and they're staying away from us. So of course, engine out, but that was awesome.
Engine out.
No, well, it's the glider.
Yeah.
So it was.
But
anyway.
but great topic though.
Any shout outs? Anybody we want to say hello to or goodbye to or anything like that?
No. I think I'm good.
Really?
I want to say to all the drone operators goodbye. And just stay on the ground.
Well, I, on the other hand, have Mike Hargan. I want to say hi to. He's a potential partner. I hope you'd enjoy this podcast. Joe Harper, he'll be probably sitting next to me next time. I really appreciate that, of course. I want a big, a big wave to my buddy Jason Shepard and M0A, of course. And Ashley, we love you to death. Free Flight Systems, just truly appreciate all you people. So, without further ado, anybody any parting shots?
No parting shots. It's just good to be back together, and talk to you guys, and happy holiday and safe New Year and all that good stuff.
Happy New Year to all the listeners, and don't forget, January 8th, 10 o'clock in the morning on Monday, tune in on Facebook. The best place to do it is on Facebook, and
on the Facebook.
Will be there.
You do sound like a grandfather now. Well, on behalf of John King Roberts, Radek Vizikowski, and Howie, a.k.a. Max Gross Marlin, from the folks here at Plane Talk, wishing you sun in your face and wind in your ass, and may all your landings be with all the gear down. See you next time. Howie out.